Sometimes in recovery circles, we say that it's time to take the next indicated step, do the next right thing. But what about that time when we don't really want to do what is in front of us? Can you just find someone else to do this? Well, there's a story in the Old Testament about Moses. God had picked him to deliver the Israelites from Egypt. And God had told him how to lay down this staff and turns into a snake, pick it back up, it turns back into a staff. He had given Moses several strategies to convince the people that he was the real deal. Put your hand inside of your cloak, bring it out, it's diseased, put it back, it's healthy. When you bring it back out, if they don't believe you, pour water on the ground, it'll turn into blood. And Moses was just not impressed. He was like, man, I don't really have a good way with words, and I think I stutter. And God said, well, what about if we send Aaron? What if we send your brother with you to be your mouthpiece? What about that? So I think we're like this sometimes. God is preparing us for the next indicated step, and we just don't see it. Lord, give us the ability to see what we need to do next. Sometimes there's a Bible verse in our head. Sometimes there's a song that we heard that's inspirational. And sometimes we have a little extra money or a little extra food. Or sometimes we go through trials and we think, man, what does this mean? Well, possibly all of these things are methods that God is preparing us for the next indicated step. It may be that that song, it may be that that scripture is an encouragement to me or to you in times of need. It might be that we have extra because it's time to share. It might be that we go through our trials so that we can share this hope with other people. My mother always loved this story in Joshua. It says the priest, when they carry the ark of the Lord, by the way, we're talking about Joshua, not Moses anymore. Joshua is leading the Israelites into the actual promised land at this point. My mom always loved this. She said that the priests have to actually get into the water before the flow of water walls up and the miracle occurs. So sometimes in our lives, we have to take the step and then let God show us the way. Also, here in verse 17, it says they waited in the middle of the riverbed until the whole nation of Israel had crossed the Jordan on dry ground. So here's another little bit frustrating thing, but I want you and I to consider this. Sometime, Sometimes the miraculous thing that we do, stepping in the water to wall the water up, it may not necessarily be about us. It might be about the pathway that we're making for our brothers and sisters. Can you find someone else? Lord, let it be us, and let us see how you're preparing us and live our lives in a in an abundant hope and in an abundant anticipation for the amazing things that you're going to do in our lives and in the people that we come in contact with. Grace and peace, brothers and sisters.